Let us talk about shadow work, shall we? So, shadow work is the process of understanding the things, the emotions that we suppress deep down our subconscious mind. And these emotions can be the shame, the fear, the resentment, the anger, the guilt, all those bad emotions, negative emotions. Yeah, they're part of us. So we all struggle and deal with these emotions, and sometimes they make us feel like we are less of who we are, and it's so sad. So today I am going to teach you some few things to understand whether you're suppressing some emotions and how to bring them out. And I'm going to start with how to bring them out. So if you're concerned about an emotions that you have, you can just question yourself 3 times. Ask yourself 1, 2, 3. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? You know, in your mind, thinking that I'm focusing on that particular area of my life. And the answers will just flow into you. So just listen and don't fight it, because your soul does not lie. So your subconscious knows what is planted there, what resides there, and it's also the solution to that particular issue. So just question yourself and then you'll just get the answer. Personally, I usually just don't question myself like 3 times. It two times is enough, and I usually listen to my emotions a lot. And that way, and I usually, that is something very, very good. Don't question your intuition. I just trust my intuition really much, such that I don't even struggle. The first answer that comes in, I just go with that and now try to dig deeper. What is happening? Where did this shame or fear came from? What are the stories that I had about this particular area of things or particular thing that inflicted fear in me? What is that happened that brought about this shame? What did I do? Like, I just go deep, deep and deeper, asking myself questions and eventually get to the root of the problem. So that is the key, to remove any emotion that you don't want. You have to go to the root of it. Otherwise, you can't sugarcoat it. You can't just say, it's okay, without putting in some work, which is digging deeper and understanding where did it come from. Because everything that is the living now, it has root, it has something. So sometimes some what are they called, sometimes some emotions that we experience, they don't come from us. Sometimes they're just passed down through generations. Like, you have this generation of ultra ego, they're so egoic, and it just becomes part of you. And maybe this is something that is not serving you at this moment in life, so you have to let it go. So understand, if it's coming from my ancestors, from my grandma, from my grandpa, from the ancestors that were there before us, then you just have to cut the tie, just cut that cord, let it end with you. So it's easy, and then again, it requires a lot of mindfulness, because you have to be mindful. It requires a lot of mindfulness and trust in your intuition. That means trusting in yourself. When you ask the questions, the first answer that you get, that is your intuition, and it doesn't even struggle to bring you the answer. It just follows. You feel like you've known it for the rest of your life, so it's that easy. So personally, I used to carry a lot of unconscious emotions, and they used to bring me down in so many areas of my life. And the moment I started unwrapping that or removing layers of that onion. Of course, it comes with a lot of tears. So it wasn't fun. It wasn't comfortable. It's a very uncomfortable situation and uncomfortable moment. And you can literally do it on a single day. Sometimes you have to ask the question, then the answers will be revealed to you in the coming days. So it will be like a week or more of focusing on the same thing or getting layers and layers and layers unwrapped. And that way you see the root of that issue. And then when you see the root of that issue, then you'd know whether to cut the tie or to, to envision, like to, what is it called? Okay, I forgot that name. But you have to understand if it's something that came from me, then I got it. Time travel. Then you have to time travel. Like just be in a meditative. I used to do that a lot. I still do if I have to. Just be in a meditative state. Uh, Mine is lying down like I'm sleeping, lying back on my back, and I would drown myself like I'm drowsing to sleep. I am so relaxed at that time, and then I will envision, I will imagine how that thing happened, the root of that issue, how it happened, and then I'll turn things around the moment that I'm there. That is basically self hypnosis. So I just go back on time in my brain because your brain is a very, very powerful tool. So I go back in time, imagine the situation and see it as it was, and then turn things around. If this is what happened, then I'll turn the things the other way around and fix it. Like I remember, let me give out a very example that I did. I used to have you know being brought up in a unhealthy environment, like with a lot of chaos and physical fight between my parents. I used to just I learned how to just free myself. Like I would just zone out, like spaced out. I would literally imagine myself outside space doing my own thing, enjoying the outside space and just running away from this reality that is happening to me right now. So in most cases, when I grew up, I was avoiding things. If it's a very difficult situation that I'm dealing with, I would just avoid it. I would just zone out and assume. If it's emotions that I'm feeling, I'll just avoid them by just zoning out. It used to be a very, very uh, you know, a very a good idea of running away from things. So when I grew up, I just had to learn that I have to focus on things. I have to be realistic. I have to deal with things here on earth and not outside space with my wild imaginations, and just focus on things and find the solution right here. So this one time I was doing my inner work and I was trying to heal that broken child who was experiencing toxic environment with my parents fighting, and I just had to imagine how, and I felt her pain. I felt my inner child's pain and fear and all the bad crazy situations that I went through. And I just imagined myself in that meditative state that I gave you earlier on, of lying back on my back, lying down on my back. And then I imagined that girl. I called her, I hugged her, the little me. I hugged her and I tell her, you know what, you're safe. It's okay. You can be here. You don't have to reside up there running away from things. You can come back here and be safe because you're now safe. This is a very safe environment for you. So I had to do that dialogue with my inner child, and that's how I was able to bring my consciousness back to reality and to deal with things as they are. And trust me, after that, it wasn't easy because like I was relearning to live life again. Like if I have issues that I have to deal with, I don't have to run away. I'll face them one on one and deal with them until I could find the solution. So that was the easiest good example I could give you that helped me so much. And I've done that with a lot of things. If it's forgiveness, I would just lie down in the same meditative state. Self hypnosis, you know, example of mine, and I would just feel let's say the anger or the pain that someone caused me, and I would feel it and release it and tell it, you know what, now you no longer serve me, thank you so much for keeping me safe, but now I have to let you go. And I just visualize, imagine the pain and the anger going away. Yes, it changes your emotional energy, it shifts instantly, but then again you have to adjust with the reality, because everything around you and everybody around you will be approaching you differently. It's like a new person. It just used to be a very funny moment in my life, because I could work on myself, and then when the energy shifts, people around me will just acting different, different good towards me. I'd be like, okay, what happened? Oh, it's because I shifted the energy. Because people act and behave according to how you are from the inside. It's not the way you look or dress, it's your energetic, your energetic self. They act, they reflect your energy. So if you are experiencing chaos and drama every time around you, with the people around you, it means the drama and the chaos is in you. So you have to let it go. If you're experiencing situations that are threatening your life, and they're making you feel the fear all the time, they're reflecting the fear that is inside of you. So you have to understand what is deep rooted inside of you. And I remember several months back, I was having a chat with my cousin, and she was going through a transformational moment in her life, and she was going through this guilt and shame situation. And I told her, you know what? That's how it feels when you're trying to see your shame as it is. Sometimes for a moment you might be angry and hate yourself really much. You might be really, really, shameful and feel like you're not good enough in that particular moment. And I told her, you know what, don't fight it, feel it. If you feel disgusted with yourself at that very moment, fine, then be it. Feel that disgustment with yourself and let it go. Let the process of energy shifting happen, because the moment it is done, then your new creature, you're transformed. You're, you've alchemized the situation from shame to your power, because that thing will shift energy into a very powerful thing that will be serving you better in future. So don't fight the negative thing, just accept it and welcome it, because that is you. Remember, the layers that you're trying to remove, they're like onions. They're gonna make you feel some weird things and question yourself, but don't stop until that process is done. And when it's done, then it will be a bright day. It's like a cloudy day. When the clouds are no longer there, it's a brighter day. So that's how it is. So the shadows are the emotions that we cover every day, and the emotions that we suppress deep down, they go into our subconscious mind, then another lower level called unconscious mind. And that's why in so many people, if you encounter with someone who is in their low vibration, that person probably have a lot of shame, fear, and guilt, and they're only controlling their lives. Personally, I'm a high vibrational being, so if I see, and I used to struggle with that so much, because when I used to have the fears, the guilt, and the shame, they used to affect me at some point, and sometimes I would attract people who have the same kind of low vibe like me, and I used to question myself. So where is this coming from? So when I learned how to transform the energy and shift the energy, then I only attract high vibration of being just like me, because okay, I definitely I don't attract people with fear anymore. Like if I'm around someone who is crowded by fear and shame, judgment, and all, I just feel uncomfortable, and I just, I just exit myself, because that is not in alignment with my own energy. So learn how to remove the fears, because I've given you the tips, and acknowledge, yes, it's part of you, and know that the moment you're done doing that, it will be great again. Like you'll be your higher self. When the lower part of you is over, then you will remain the higher self being, like with the joy, peace, happiness, contentment, and it will be just blissful, but not the ignorance blissful. Just, it will be just as a little baby, as God created you before the environment and the parents and the friends and school, before it molded you into that being that struggles with the emotions that you don't want to feel. So I don't want this video to be so long. I just needed to give you those tips, and I certainly don't want to get so deep, because not so many people understand these things. It's not the woo woo, it's just how psychology and spirituality, one are the same thing. And that's who we are. That's our brain. That's how capable our brains are. You have to change your mentality for you to overcome a particular issue, because you can't remove some things that you're fighting with the same mentality of fighting them. So you have to be in surrender and accept, this is me and I'm going to change me. So I wish you all the best doing the work, and I will see you on the next video. So please like, share, and comment. Subscribe. I love my subscribers and my new subscribers, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.